Hi there, my name is Jerry, and in this video I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process on how to make stickers, from coming up with the idea to the final outcome. The things that you'll need to make these stickers are going to be a sketch pad, a pencil, printer and scanner, some editing software, sticker paper, laminate paper, and some scissors. Okay, so to get started off, I've got some Valentine's Day pictures that kind of inspired me, so I was like making a little mood board. Things I quite liked from this were like little love hearts and balloons. I found a little kind of quote that said like stupid Cupid, which I quite liked. Even found a Cupid that was like kind of cool. Found some roses, and when I did my research I found like these kind of like little conversation hearts were quite popular, and like right here I was kind of thinking of a sticker idea already of this whole kind of stupid Cupid slogan with a Cupid here. And here I'm doing a little mind map. So here, like I was just talking about that idea. I quite like those bees. I was thinking teddy bears and some hearts. So like these are kind of, I'm basically playing around with ideas, and I need something visual along with something that's written. This is like a really important part of like my creative process as well, because before I even start drawing, I'm trying to make a plan of what it is that I'm trying to achieve, because I may have it emotionally that I want to do something, but I need to kind of have a start in what I'm doing. And once I have those ideas down, written, I kind of tend to throw them away and put them on the side. Now for the scary part, I'm going to try and draw. Now, like anything, when you are practicing something, you have to warm up your muscles, and drawing is no exception. You do have to warm up first before you decide that you're going to draw something. Now in this case, I drew a couple of things that I wasn't quite happy with, and you can see me actually thinking about it, like taking it out, and it was only until maybe like a couple of designs that I actually settled on, maybe two. And even the one after I'd done the two designs, when I was making a third, it was like, okay, I don't even like the third design. It's the only like two designs that I kind of settled on. So draw all your ideas within the warm-up process, and then you filter through what's going to work versus what's not. This helps get all of your rubbish ideas out the window, so it can make room for the good ideas that are going to come through. And you're only going to know that by actually getting them onto paper and seeing them visually. Here I was quite happy with the idea, so I started actually outlining it to kind of get a little bit of a visual of seeing it almost like a finished design. As I was drawing it and outlining it, I was like, okay, I really like these ideas, so I'm gonna almost like nurture them in a little bit of in a way. So that's why I was kind of taking care of like, okay, if this was actually like a finished design, what would that look like? So I kind of ran with that. And like constantly, as you're drawing, you're constantly coming up with ideas. Okay, once I felt very happy with that, I scanned the images in to my computer. This is an Epson XP3200. It's pretty good. And when I'm scanning in the images, lots of people tend to use 600 DPI. For this one, I used 1200, which I found made my images absolutely massive. However, this kept the quality of my images, which is really good, especially if you're doing for projects like stickers, because if you've got a big image, the quality will still remain if you make it smaller, and if anything, the quality and like little details really stand out. Whereas if you're trying to make something that's kind of small and you try and make it bigger, you tend to lose that detail when going bigger, because like things are made out of pixels as well. So especially in like digital art. So if you're going from bigger to smaller, it's much easier. This part of the process, I was kind of struggling with doing this kind of like bending arm backwards, almost like she's kind of like curtsying. So I needed a reference here to kind of figure out how to make that quite convincing, that her arm was going backwards rather than looking like it was broken. Okay, here I'm picking apart a really minute issue. I'm basically deciding whether I prefer the line art that I previously made or the line art that I have made now. Now, I really like the way I did the cheek here, so I'm actually going to make it a bit bigger because I feel like she looks like she's smiling more. Okay, here I'm selecting them, and now I'm actually making them smaller because the image is so massive that in Procreate I can't even like put any more layers on there. So I actually needed to make the image a bit smaller so Procreate could actually handle the file that I was working with, which was a new problem I came across. So yeah, and how big the actual file is to how big I wanted the stickers, they were enormous. Okay, so this is a colouring process that I'm doing here with how I colour in my pieces. So I actually start off with a base colour first, rather than colouring in things individually. So I get everything coloured in one base colour. This helps with not having any white showing within the piece, because that always is not a fun process to be finishing off something and like, oh, I've missed a piece. So this ensures that every single area of where I'm drawing has colour in there. And here I'm just rubbing out the edges where I don't want any colour. So once every piece is coloured, I actually select the areas that I want to change the colour and use the colour balance tool. This is really helpful because it keeps my colour palette as close to the original colour that I started out with. So this is a little bit of colour theory that goes into doing my piece, because you don't want any colours that are going to kind of clash with the theme you're going for, and that's how you kind of keep your colours quite harmonious and working together with each other, so you don't have a kind of a something that's a bit of an eyesore when you're working with colours in general. So we've got some nice kind of like blondes, pinks, blues, like these are all kind of colours that work very nicely together. Like if I was to throw a orange in there or green, it would have to be like a very small hint of it, or it would need to be within the same palette, or coolness or warmness. So it's not a warm painting, even though it's saturated, but we can change those things later if we decide to. But to start off with, we have to keep things consistent. Here I'm doing the shading. Now, shading is something I'm a little bit more flexible with, because I tend to start off with just black, and I add a layer on top, and then I think here I used multiply as the layer format, and that gave a bit of a warmness to the shadows that were going on. I don't tend to use colours for my shadows. I do tend to use black and then just overlay the layer solely just to keep things simple. I don't want to make my pieces as complicated or spend too much time on pieces that I'd otherwise spend on actually enjoying my artwork, really. So keep things simple, black and white. Highlights, shadows. It's how the real world works. It's how the sun works. It's how shadows work, and then the colour comes afterwards. And here we have some drawings. I was really happy with them. So now I've moved over to Photoshop on my desktop, so coming away from the pad and going onto Photoshop to kind of format my stickers in a way that I could actually make a sticker sheet. I find this really hard to do on my iPad, so it's a bit easier with my computer. So here I'm printing out on normal paper just to see what my print comes out, and then I print on the sticker paper. They're really different. I know it doesn't look like that on the camera, so it's not the desired print I want. So I am testing out here, like if I just make it slightly darker, it's actually giving me the colours that I want on the sticker paper. So it really depends on the type of material you use when you're printing to get the desired outcome you want. And sometimes you have to play around a little bit before you actually commit to making a whole sticker sheet. So I'm very happy with those colours I've got, so I'm happy to go and print a whole sheet of my little cupids. Alright, so I have some laminate paper, like a little sheet, and it's got little love hearts on it. It looks really, really sweet. I like it. I use a squeegee to sort it out as well. Now here, I actually made a huge mistake, but I wanted to keep it in here because I think it's really valuable to know how to mend a mistake when it feels irreversible. So I stuck the laminate down, and once the laminate's down, you shouldn't rip it off because it will take the ink off with it. I then flipped it over and then pulled the back sheet off of it. Now, I should have used the squeegee. I left it over there. Now, because I didn't use the squeegee, that meant that I had all these bubbles forming on top of my sticker sheet, and I wasn't able to get it flat. Now, I was clearly upset with my mistake because I've done stickers so many times, and sometimes these things just happen. Now, here you can see, like, when I push it down, like, you can clearly see there's a bubble there. I tried to get all of the bubbles out with the squeegee just whilst the page was like this, and that wasn't working, and I was really worried that it was going to make it worse. So here I'm just saying, right, I need to cut this out and then make a smaller path for the air that's trapped in the sticker to get out. And if this happens when you're making stickers, this is the easiest way to solve the problem. Just cut out the sticker and then kind of massage the air out because it's got a smaller surface area to get out. It's a lot easier doing it this way rather than trying to do it as one whole sheet. So the stickers I make here are called die cut stickers. What is a die cut sticker? Basically, it's a sticker that cuts to the exact shape of the design instead of just a square or a circle or a kiss cut sticker, which is like on a sticker sheet. So it makes the design stand out a bit more, and it gives it more of like a clean, professional look, like this, nice and shiny. So when I cut my die cut stickers, I make sure to follow the edges as smoothly as possible so they look nice and polished. So whether you're using a cutting machine or doing it by hand, taking your time really helps get the finish that you want. And then these stickers look quite good on laptops, water bottles, journals. Something I want to mention is when I'm cutting, I tend to keep my scissors in the same place and move the paper around my scissors. So there's a little bit of my scissors moving, but generally my scissors stay pretty still, and then I move the design around it just so I can have a little bit more control. you end up with like a little finished product like this. And look how cute she is. I love her. And yeah, that is how I made my Cupid stickers. But coming up with the ideas right at the beginning, so when we did the mind map and mood board, actually led me to make a couple more designs. But then that led to the stupid Cupid design. Then that also made me realize I already had a drawing of a rose, so I used that to make a sticker. And I also got inspired by these little conversation hearts. When I did my research, I saw that there was lots of quite aggressive ones, and cute ones, so I thought I'd make some mid ones, saying the kind of things that say I guess and maybe another time. It's not me, it's you. And yeah, I think they look quite nice as a set. If you liked this, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.